welcome to 40 years in business at Buds. Okay, let's try it again.
I'm just at a moment that isn't the best. Can I call you back?
All right, guys, so 40 years in business. I don't think we really had any plan. We were young. I don't know what we were. Okay, just give me a sec here. We were all sports car nuts and loved cars, and
come to mind about those 40 years.
But we thought we'd take a bash at this auto business.
We all grew up servicing people.
We went to British Leyland and talked them into giving us a franchise. Now, we sort of told them our dad was involved at that point, and he really wasn't, but that was beside the point. We thought once we could talk somebody into giving us a franchise, we could then talk our dad into it.
You know, you wouldn't stay in business in the British Leyland world when we started without looking after people and understanding customer service.
Yeah, so our first building was pretty basic. We moved into an old fabricating building and didn't have any money to do anything in renovation. Basically, the entire building was one open shop with a few cars here and there, and we managed to put some hoists in and start doing service. But there wasn't much to it, that's for sure. It was a pretty small and humbling start.
The other thing that's been interesting that just came to mind was the fact that we had Mini when we opened as a British Leyland dealer in 1973. Interestingly enough, in 2002, we got it back.
And certainly BMW was one of those opportunities. BMW was looking for a local dealer that would be a little bit more progressive. It just seemed like a great opportunity for us to jump into a new brand. And we did that and built new buildings.
The day I walked into this building, the night before we were opening, and kind of walked around on my own, and the only thing I said was, how the hell are we going to pay for this? The fact that we'd run a small business for so many years, and all of a sudden, boom, you've got this, and you think, wow. It wasn't long before the building actually, we almost outgrew it.
You can sort of see the evolution of where we ended up, but over the years we added franchises, and the auto business is always changing. Some brands disappear, some amalgamate.
It's interesting that it shows you just what's happened with evolution. And I think you think back over 40 years, it hasn't been evolution, it's kind of been revolution, which is kind of interesting.
You know, they're very different personalities, the three of them.
You know, am I still going now?
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay.
I am the middle brother.
It's always been a great relationship, but a test at the same time.
So I'm probably the easiest to get along with. That's usually the case.
Well, you know, that's not going to happen.
I'm a little bit more of an out there.
And my older brother, sometimes I call him my dad.
We think alike in a lot of ways.
Good guy, just full of himself than I am.
But we don't think alike in other ways.
So each of them bring a different strength to the organization.
My younger brother Terry is a couple of years younger than I am, and I pretty much taught him everything he knows.
Okay, so basically, I'm not so sure Chris has an actual job function, because every time I see him, he's talking to somebody, he's standing around, he's chatting and doing the whole social thing, but I've never actually seen him in his office. I don't even know whether he knows how to work a computer, so, you know, maybe one day he'll learn that.
He said, what?
At the end of the day, they're brothers, they're blood, and you learn to compromise in a lot of ways, but at the same time, everybody's got an equal say, so all good.
Buds have a motto for the business that they've had for several years, and it is the family business that service is built.
Our motto is the family business is service built. We always believed that if you took great care of people in service, that would sell the next car.
We do and try to equally look after everybody the same.
Customer service is important to us simply because without it, you don't stay in business.
We are the family business that service built.
The idea that we provide exceptional service above and beyond a customer's expectations.
Well, the message is simple. I think, you know, our dad believed in treating people the way you like to be treated yourself. It's a simple thing.
I was late today coming to this meeting because there was a customer that needed my attention. And
no matter whether it's a new customer coming in the door, a prospect, a service customer, a parts customer.
But we do strive in each and every case to make sure that we're satisfying every customer that comes in the door.
You know, we try and promote that philosophy internally to all our staff. They understand that they're empowered to make decisions and take care of people.
Mentor your people to actually look after our collective clients' property so that you get repeat business.
Well, customer service has been a real big part of our program. On bringing our customers back and making people happy and then treating everybody as family.
And that's what it's all about. There's really nothing even close in second place. Customer satisfaction is the most important thing in our business today, without a doubt.
That's worked out for us in our 40 years of business.
Okay, we talked about Chris and Terry, and I want to talk about Mom.
Yeah, it's sort of, she was well known around the family as Bitchy Bonnie.
Well, has anyone called her Bitchy Bonnie yet?
Bitchy Bonnie?
Really, my mom's real name is Bitchy Bonnie.
You didn't cross Bitchy Bonnie.
Having 3 boys probably wasn't the easiest. And
She's just a piece of work. That's the best way to explain her. She won't stop, she won't quit.
Is the tough girl in the family. She always stuck up for us no matter what.
We didn't have reservations, so I went up to the desk and he said, "Oh, Mrs. Budd, she's at her table, follow me." I sat down and I looked at her and I said, "You didn't make reservations. How the heck did you get a table so fast?" And she said, "Well, I walked up to the counter and the fellow said reservations." And she said, "Yes, have it." And he said, "You know what, I'm terribly sorry. Somehow we don't have your name here, but we'll get a table for you right away." And she looked at me and she said, "I really didn't have to say anything, and all of a sudden I've got a table." And I said, "Mom, I can't believe you did it, but maybe you want to come back and sell cars for me." And that is a true story.
It was just typical Mom. The boys were always right and everybody else was wrong, and that's how she stood up for us. Great lady.
She went along for the ride, and you know, I think she was a good support group, both for Dad and for all of us, and she deserves as much credit as the rest of us, I guess, for what we've managed to do here.
I don't know how she's done it, quite honestly. And you know, that's a very good question, because
You might have to turn the camera off for a sec. Actually, I'd have to think about that.
it actually just seems like yesterday.
40 years in business. It's hard for me to believe, actually, that we're here.
I don't think we've ever actually stopped and looked back at where we've been.
This business has been, it's been our life, it's been our livelihood.
We had the innate sense of having a little bit of a philosophy of taking care of people the way you like to be treated yourself, and I think that really has paid off.
40 years, to me, really doesn't mean what it might mean to somebody else.
You know, 3 brothers trying to get along over a 40-year period is not always the easiest thing in the world.
And we did that. All 3 of us worked very hard because we didn't want to lose any of our dad's money.
A lot of people have come to us over the years and said, "You've done a magnificent job."
As you go forward, you learn more, you roll with the punches. We got lucky with some brands, and you know, hard work always helps.
Yeah, people always ask us how it feels to accomplish what we've accomplished, and I don't know that we really think about it. I think you could ask any of us.
I might think about it in 10 years, but I certainly haven't stopped to think about it today. I know that sounds strange, but really haven't.
We've had a heck of a lot of fun over the years, and even though sometimes you think it's a grind and it's difficult, there's still lots of fun in the car business.
We're just very pleased to all have been healthy, and
so you know, it's kind of amazing that at 40-year mark we're sitting here still a little less hair on our head and a little less hair everywhere else, and that's how it is.
You get a chance to stop and think about where you are and what you've built. I guess it's pretty amazing from that standpoint.
to set the table for a ton of people in the Oakville area that work for us, and that's important. We went into business with our dad, which was an absolute privilege, and we became friends and business partners over those years.
He's a wonderful person with a wonderful sense of humor, and you know, every time I think about it, it brings a little bit of a tear to the back of your eyes.
But my father, he didn't make me cry.
Yeah, so Dad was in the car business pretty much all his life. After leaving the Air Force after the war, he started selling trucks for International Harvester, and I think fundamentally he was a car guy. I think we're all car guys. That's what we are.
Dad was probably the most honest man I've ever met in my life. Dad would give his last dollar to somebody walking in off the street if he had his way.
Great sense of humor, very humble man, actually. He spent a lot of time making sure that everyone else was accommodated for.
And then I think he knew he wanted to do something a little further than that. He wanted to get into the car business, and having a family business was really important to him. And so in 1973, we opened our doors in very humble beginnings.
Good businessman. He actually, in hindsight, when we look back over the years, he had a lot more handle on small little business that we did than we really recognized at that point.
He always liked to celebrate life in a good way, so we've always done it that way. We never looked back and agonized over the fact that he isn't here.
He had it figured out, just didn't want to always let us know that.
And I think in his mind it was great to start a family business, and maybe he felt like there was one more piece in his life that could be ultimate success, and that's building something of his own.
Dad was just one of us, and it was no different. And when we lost Dad 12 years ago, it wasn't just like losing a father, it was like losing a good business partner at the same time.
After 40 years, I'd just like to thank all of our customers.
First and foremost, you know, you build your business one customer at a time.
I'd just like to thank our customers for all the support we've had over the years.
You know, customers are everything to us. Without them, obviously, we wouldn't be in business. And as I said, you know, customer service is how we stay in business.
I think you've come to know us. We've come to know you. We're here for the long term, and we really do appreciate your business.
So I'd like to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of our heart on allowing us to be where we are today. It is that simple.
Best is yet to come, and babe, won't that be fine?